It's showtime. Reggae Boyz fans, how are you guys doing? Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, anywhere across the world watching this video. Make sure you guys smash the like button. I'm begging you, make sure you guys smash the like button. Smash it. As you join this chat, smash it. I really, really appreciate that. We are here. Big up to every single one of you guys in the chat. Team up Verna. Hit the like button for Ryan LFC. No, we're here to talk about the JFF. We're here to talk about Jerome Waite. We're here to talk about Coach Theodore Whitmore. Yes, guys, we need to talk about. So what's that? Make sure you guys hit the like button. Appreciate you guys coming in and to listen to what Ryan LFC have to say about the JFF. Let's just sound up the engine. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting on more people to come in the chat, so I don't want to repeating myself in the live stream. So, how are you guys doing today, man? Sebastian, how you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. We're here to just talk about the Reggae Boyz too. You know what I mean? To sound up the thing then. But yeah, just giving it probably about 2 more minutes for YouTube to send out the notification, because yeah, we need to talk about the JFF and the Reggae Boyz national team, because things has not been too good at this moment. So I want to straighten out things. You know, when Ryan LFC come to talk, always come with facts accurately and to talk about everything once it have to do with the Reggae Boyz and to improve the Reggae Boyz. Yes, need to improve what's going on in the Jamaican football at this moment. With the World Cup coming up in weeks away, you know what I mean? A lot of things has been not going on in the camp at this moment. So, yeah, as you guys can see, we here. Sebastian, how you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Bless up to my brethren. Yes. Enough love, enough respect, man. Listen, we will dive into it, guys. We will definitely dive into it. Bless up yourself, my brother. I really appreciate you come and to share your thought on this. So, you guys hearing me? Let me know if you guys hear me. Forgot to put on my headphones, so. Yeah, you guys hearing me? Let me know if you guys hearing me. So, yeah. Big up to the people them who are listening. They are at work at this moment, but not commented. I see you guys. Bless up to all of you guys, man. Enough respect, man. Enough respect to all the people them, all the Jamaican people them, man. Enough respect. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Let's sound it up, guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button and let's share the video. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Any special guest today? I should have a special guest, but I am waiting for him to join. So whenever him join, if you don't join, I will just tear up the show by myself, because you guys know I can do it by myself. But yeah, enough respect, my brother. I really appreciate it. Camber, enough respect, man. One love to you, Bridging. Keep supporting the Reggae Boyz and stuff, but we're going to dive into it, guys. We're going to dive into it. I was supposed to do a video, but I said I want to hear you guys feedback. I want to do a live because I really want to hear you guys feedback on this, because my first question is, why is it my first question is, why is it when Rennie Simons was a coach twice, when Winford Schaefer was the coach first time, we have English-based player coming to the Jamaican national team, we didn't hear a lot of noise making? Things probably happen, but it under the surface. Nothing come out in the paper, nothing come out in the news or stuff. Why is that? It has to be a coach from Jamaica. A lot of problem in the camp. English-based player don't want to represent. Local player don't want English player to be in the squad. Why is it? You know what's a major factor in this, guys? So when you have a strong leader, when you have a man leading from the front, many times you're not going to see so much things spill in the media. No, I think really believe Theodore Whitmore is not a leader. I think Theodore Whitmore is a follower. We're going to get into everything that said on football GPS with Jerome Waite. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button. It's important for you guys smash the like button. I'm going to give you a story. This is a story. Hear the story, guys. When Jamaica lost to the Japan under 24 team, Jerome Waite was the head coach. Theodore Whitmore feeling sick. That is what come out in the media. Theodore Whitmore sick. Let me tell you something, guys. Theodore Whitmore never sick. You know what happened to Theodore Whitmore? Theodore Whitmore, according to my news, according to the people giving me the information, and listen, guys, I don't bring fake news. I always bring something correct. I could break this news. I could be the first one to break this news, but I choose not to break the news. I just keep silent and watch how things going to pan out with this. No, listen to me, guys. Listen to me. They set up Jerome Waite to fail. They're judging Jerome Waite on one game, the game against Japan. One game, them setting Jerome Waite to fail. No, people, we are human beings. We are Jamaica. I'm going to give you an example. Jurgen Klopp and him assistant didn't say eye to eye, week in, week out, but they keep it professionally. But whenever Jurgen Klopp and the assistant coaching problem, it's spill over on the team. Theodore Whitmore and Jerome Waite do not say eye to eye. Can you believe it? They do not say eye to eye on everything, and they want to get home Jerome Waite. No, we all know that JFF ball about the money. They ball about the money. You know, every single national team, they probably have 6 to 7 coach. Jamaica only have 2. We have an assistant coach and we have a head coach, and we're supposed to have a fitness coach. The assistant coach normally prepare the team. People, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, people. You know what? You know what the problem, guys? You know what the problem? The people them want to get out Jerome Waite and they don't know how to get out Jerome Waite. It's simple. It's simple. Set to Jerome Waite. We want to move forward and we don't think you is the best man to assist Theodore Whitmore more than go around the corner and just going around the thing. Listen, people, the people them, viewers, the JFF interviewed 3 coach to be the assistant coach for Theodore Whitmore. Paul Hall and 2 other local Jamaican coach. One of the local Jamaican coach turn it down, right? Turn it down. I want you guys listen to me carefully now, because I am going to get right down into it, because you know, guys, one thing you can say about me, I don't hold back. I am not the person going to hold back and tell you, oh, I don't want to speak about this or that, forgetting trouble. I don't afraid of nobody. The only thing I told you guys what the JFF can do to Ryan LFC to shut me up. The only thing they can do, tell the Reggae Boyz player, do not do any interview with me. And that's fine. If they don't do no more interview with me, that's fine. That's fine. But I want to see the country better and I want to see the country do good. But some of the people them in charge in the JFF, Trust me, guys. They are the biggest problem. They are the people them letting down the national team. And it's no national team going to win nothing with so much baggage going on. English based player don't feel accepted by the local player. English based player feel away. Listen, listen, I told you guys, Theodore Whitmore is the biggest problem. Him and the JFF is the biggest problem. There's no way you are a leader. There's no way you are a leader. And you're not leading from the front. You have to lead from the front, Coach Theodore Whitmore. And I tell you this, I do an interview with a Jamaican player. And you know what the Jamaican player said to me? He said it on live. He said, Ryan, Theodore Whitmore is a puppet to the JFF. He's a puppet to the JFF. Is the president this? Is the president this for the Jamaican football? If you are the president, listen, I want to challenge you. Come on the platform. Come on the platform. If you are the president, come on the platform. I can give you the link. Now, guys, let's jump back into it, guys, because I was speaking to a coach this morning. I was speaking to a coach this morning. And he said to me, Ryan, okay. He said to me, Ryan, this national team not going to go nowhere. And I tell you guys, it no matter if we get Cristiano Ronaldo, it no matter if we get Lionel Messi, it no matter if we get Kevin De Bruyne, it no matter if we get Lukaku, no matter if we get Kante in the midfield, no matter if we get Sergio Ramos, no matter if we get Virgil van Dijk, if you don't have a proper structure, it's going to be fail. It's going to be fail. And him right. Him right when he say, Ryan, this is how the JFF has been running this football for years, and this is how they want to continue. Really and truly, guys, I'm really sick and tired of how the JFF has been dealing with things. If you want to get rid of, if you want to get rid of the coach, let's get rid of the coach. Now, let's talk about the interview that Jerome Waite. Let us talk about the interview, guys. Myself, big up yourself, big up to myself, big up to Coach Karumi. Enough love. Guys, make sure you smash the like button. Boss King. No, it's a fake account. Big up to all of you guys. The more you guys smash the like button, the more people. We have 38 of you guys. Let's get the video to 40 likes. Vendetta. Big up yourself. Nothing but love, man. Nothing but love for the Gully Vendetta fans in the building. Yeah. Alright. Let's jump back into it. Just a second, guys. Let's jump back into it, guys. Listen, look at this now, guys. Jerome Waite come and spoke on football GPS, right? And what he said on many topic, he said, is the JFF picking some of these English-based players? The JFF, trust me, guys, they are. I tell you guys, people think I just want to blame the JFF all the time, but the JFF, they need to leave Coach Theodore Whitmore to pick the team. But listen, that is what Theodore Whitmore forget because he's not leading from the front. If Theodore Whitmore leading from, why this don't happen to Rennie Simmons? Why this don't happen to Winford Schaefer? Why is always it have to be one of our local coach? They underpaying Coach Theodore Whitmore, and yes, still they not allow him to do him job. This this is the same thing I'm saying. They don't know nothing what to do to pick the squad. Allow the coach. Why you appointed a head coach? Is to do him job. You pay him to do him job. If you guys can do the job, you shouldn't have Theodore Whitmore in the job then. Allow Theodore Whitmore to do him job. Stop want to pick the team. And Reggae Boyz fans, this is nothing new. This is nothing new with the Football Federation. We all know that Theodore Whitmore is not the man who picked the squad. We know that. And that's a fact. And we know it's not Theodore Whitmore picking the team. Now, let's talk about Theodore Whitmore. Now, Theodore Whitmore, I told you guys, I'm giving them the Gold Cup to produce because we don't see a style of play, we don't see a system. And I was watching Craig Butler show, and Leon Bailey said, this is what Leon Bailey said. To him, he don't see a system. Listen, a big superstar come on my channel and he said it. Theodore Whitmore is a puppet. He's a puppet. This is why the JFF want to have Theodore Whitmore to be the head coach, because they want to run things. We clearly and see how they want to do the thing. Let's be honest, guys. These men want to have Luca V. Vasia way more name. That guy from Abbeville, he's not good enough. Why continue to get called up in the national team? You know why? They want to get him contract that he can benefit overseas. You get what I say, guys? This cannot work. This can't work. And Reggae Boyz fans, it's sad to say. It's sad to say because we have a great team, but no style of play, no system, no strong leader, both on the pitch and off the pitch. You understand? Theodore Whitmore should be running this team, but is the JFF running the team? And I don't know why the JFF continue want to pick the team. Allow the man to do him job. No. Let's go back to it, guys. Let's go back to Jerome Waite. Jerome Waite going to be going to a meeting a few days from now. Everybody want to blame Jerome Waite. Nobody want to blame Whitmore and the JFF. They are the problem. Listen, this is a very good comment. Listen, I hear that Jerome Waite farm sick and allow Jerome Waite to coach the team because, yes, because they want to get rid of Jerome Waite. They want to get rid of Jerome Waite because I know this is suspicious. When they sign the QPR, that's Paul Hall, the former Reggae Boyz player, he's going to be the assistant coach for Jerome, for Theodore Whitmore. You know what, guys? Let me tell you something. I know the JFF don't have the money to pay 6 coaches. They don't have the money. Everything JFF complaining about the money. Yeah? Complain about the money. So I know they only can pay 2 coach. Only 2 coach they can pay. Someone tell me say he's not a football person, man. He's not a football person. Listen, Reggae Boyz fans, listen. Right now, this is how I feel. We waiting for the team to announce the 23-man squad announce. Don't build up your hopes, guys, because it's going to be a lot of disappointment. Yes, it's going to be a lot of disappointment in the team because player, who do you guys think going to in it? They're not going to be in it. And it's going to upset a lot of people. Guys, smash the like button, guys. Let's get the video to 50 likes, guys. That's the aim for the stream. It's free, guys. Just smash the like button, guys. Smash it. Listen, it's so much where the man them can make money. Listen, guys, you can make money in player jersey. You can make money in merchandise, get cup. You can make so much merchandise to make money, but they don't know. They have something and they don't know how to use it. Look at the girls team. You see so much problem with the girls because guess what? They have a proper structure. Listen, guys, listen. Look who is running the girl national team. They have a proper structure. They have the Marley that's Bob Marley that are running the structure of the national team for the ladies. You see the ladies have these problem. We don't hear it. We don't hear the problem. We don't hear the problem. Everything under the carpet. Everything under the carpet. But we choose not to get people or to give it up. We hear the Bob Marley that I say the JFF need to give it up to people who know about the football and know how to get sponsor and know how to do a lot of great things. Communication is the key. Why is always they ball in the first thing they don't have any money? Oh, big up halftime TV. Halftime you have to work, bro. If you have to work, bro, and you can jump on, I would love for you to give me 5 minutes, bro. Halftime. Listen, bro. You see, our football not going to go nowhere with these people in running the federation. The federation, them is the biggest problem. They're using the national team to make money, to benefit from them own pocket, brother. You get me I say? And it should be like that. It should be like that. No, you guys want to sack Jerome Waite. You guys going around the corner. Why going around the corner if you want to sack Jerome Waite? Why not call a meeting and say, listen, we don't need your service? Why you don't call the man and talk to him up front? Why you go and interview 3 coach to get the man job, to get him out? Listen, guys, it don't surprise me by the end of this week or next week. Let's give them till next week. Jerome gets sacked from his position. I'm telling you guys, it don't surprise me. It's not going to surprise me if Jerome gets sacked. Listen, half time. Them man don't want to get him up, brother. They want to get up Jerome, brother. And come and use the football. What's guys, how much are you guys watch the interview on football GPS? Exactly the same thing that Theodore Whitmore said. Many of him interview them. Why you don't sack Theodore Whitmore? Why? Because Jerome go on football GPS and talk about the JFF can do more. The JFF should allow the coach them to pick the team. Why? This the same thing that Jerome Waite said, the same thing that Theodore Whitmore has mentioned. But you guys call up Jerome Waite, right? For foolishness. Bro, them money have them agenda, bro. Guys, smash the like button. Big up to Formula and big up to thing. Formula. May I tell you, Formula, the man they make big problem. Jerome go on TV and talk things with him not for talk. But it is truth. It is the truth. The JFF I pick the team. The JFF I call up player that Theodore Whitmore don't want. You get what I say? The man them a call up player that Theodore Whitmore don't want. Listen, yes, brother. Yes, we all know that. We all know that. Jerome Waite, as a local coach, as a local coach, guys, Jerome Waite, he have a lot of individual award. locally, win the Premier League with Arnett Garden and stuff. But he have a lot of experience. Half time, check your Instagram. Check your Instagram. I send it to you on Instagram. Check your Instagram. Listen, Miguel Coley a top coach, man. Miguel Coley a top coach. Are the same reason why, you see, guess it. Listen, guys, let me tell you something. The man them get out Miguel Coley. Just so. Them just get rid of the man for nothing at all. When Winford Schaefer leave. Them get rid of him for nothing at all. Nothing at all, them get rid of the man for bridging. Nothing at all, them get rid of Miguel Coley for. Miguel Coley a good coach. But guess what? If you not say, yeah, big up to coaches Dex formula. Big up to you guys. Yeah, big up to you. Big up. Coach. My God. Listen, Jerome Waite, when you look at him record, what he has done for Arnett Garden, he have a very good record. And boy, I don't know what to say about it, but the whole thing is just a mediocre thing and joke. And I can tell you this, guys. I know me I say. Jerome Waite, by next week, trust me, by next week, don't surprise Jerome Waite not in him job. Because I know the type of people me I deal with. I know the type of people me I deal with. Big up to coaches Dex, big up to Formula, top shatter. Yeah. Connect your mic, Virginia. Nah, connect your mic. If you don't connect your mic, the stream not going to let me in. Yeah. Connect your mic. You have to connect your mic. Else it won't make me add it to the stream. You have to connect your mic first. No love, Virgin. No love. Big up to you guys. Watch this, guys. See an extra way that the JFF can do and make money. Alright. Leon Bailey. See? Leon Bailey, our biggest superstar. You get merch, you put Leon Bailey on merch. You get cup, you put Leon Bailey on cup. You get bag, you put Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed. We have so much good player in this team. And we're not getting enough sponsor. So that's why them know for ball about money, because they're not doing the work. People cannot trust. Listen, people want people who they can trust with their money. You think if somebody don't trust Ryan LFC, they're just going to give Ryan LFC some money? No, it's not how it go. Sponsor want to know how the money are spent. You get me I say? Sponsor want to know how the money are spent. Jesus Christ. So as I said, guys, lower your expectation. Don't surprise if you don't see some of the key player them in the national team in the final 23. Jerome Waite said a lot of the player them, the big name player them, don't want to play the practice games. Lot of the big player them don't want to come and depend camp. How can we have a national team? The big name player them don't want to come and play the friendly. When we look at Argentina, when we look at Brazil, when we look at Spain, all of them, what's the difference with some of the big name player them in the world with some of our local player them, with some of our star player them, we could say like a Bobby Reed. It's just an example, guys. I'm not naming out any player, but I'm saying, what's the difference with Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo? Cristiano Ronaldo, do he want a vocation? Do Lionel Messi want a vocation? Why all of these players not turning up for practice game? The chip in Japan. Clearly, Jerome Waite pointed it back to the JFF and said, Jerome Waite pointed it back to just a second, guys. I want halftime TV to jump on, but he must say the link not working. Halftime. Try it on YouTube. I drop the link in there. I drop the link. So halftime. Check. Click on the link and let us see. Yeah, halftime. Click on the link and let us see if it'll work up on this side. So that's the link. So if you guys, so click on the link halftime and see if it'll work. If it can jump on from this side. Make sure you guys smash the like button, guys. Please smash the like button. Smash up the like button. Yeah. Yeah. As what I was saying, guys. Yes, Mr. Sir. What you say?
Brother, I tell you, say, you can't say that, my youth. Can't say the money might use the money for individual gains, brother. Like
the money might use the money, Beijing.
But big man thing still. I don't think it's about him coming out and saying it. It's about the power that be, because it's often said you have to think about what you say and the capacity that you're in to say certain things, right? So your question, Theodore Whitmore saying certain things and not receiving similar punishment as Jerome Waite. Theodore Whitmore is a head coach, right? Now the amount of channels that Jerome Waite would have had to gone through it, for the proper avenues, and before he came forward and said what he said, it would have been maybe 4 or 5 persons before, because first he would have had to consult Theodore Whitmore if he were going through the correct medium, right? And then the persons above Theodore Whitmore as well. You get me? So he said quite a few things in those 2 interviews, because I pulled up the interview that he did on the 13th of June as well, which was when they came back from Japan, one he did with the Observer. And if you tie that in with the football GPS interview, which I think that was the 16th or something, the actual time, because it was published 4 days ago, but I think the interview was done on the 16th. So it is quite a lot, and it needed to be said, but not by Jerome Waite. And I think it is.
So hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Is the head coach on the same pages as the assistant coach? Because normally anything the head coach said, 90% of the time, you have the assistant say the same thing. They should on the same page.
Yeah.
So what's the difference with Jerome Waite saying it and
that's what I'm saying, Ryan. That's what I'm saying, because it would, for example, then if you're in a house with your parents, right? You live with your parents, just hypothetically speaking, and your parents express disapproval to something, and you come forward as the child then, and you consult the person that your parents don't like or they disapprove the act. your parent will want to reprimand you, you know, because you spoke out of turn. It wasn't in your capacity to speak. You get the angle I'm coming from.
Yeah,
So
me
so
understand.
it's not a matter of Jerome Waite whether if he's saying the truth or not. I don't question the credibility of what he said, because we have been questioning it for some time. Who's picking the teams? We're seeing players thrown into the fray that they don't match what the coach's ideas are, all of that. So we've been asking the question as vloggers for quite some time. So that's why I said it's not a matter of it being true or not. It's a matter of him whether it was his to say. Theodore Whitmore said it fine. Tappa is the head coach. He can speak about dissatisfaction or anything he wants to speak of because he has the leverage. He's on that level where he's allowed to say certain things then. Because if there is anything, say for instance, there's a roundtable discussion between the heads of each. Jerome Waite wouldn't be there. It would be the head of Jamaica Football Federation and Theodore Whitmore. So who is Jerome Waite to come out and say what he said? Which again, it's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing, because he made some very pivotal points in his interviews, both of them. And for those who haven't seen or haven't read the first interview, it's on the Jamaica Observer's website. The one from Football GPS, it's on YouTube, so you can check out both of them. Football GPS one, I think, is 54 minutes long. But at the end of the day, he spoke out of turn, and I think it was Ratney who said, before you speak, turn your tongue 7 times, because that way you get the opportunity to think about what you want to say if you ought to say it. So that's my 2 cents on it, because
Say you think. I believe, and this is just my opinion. You think him shot himself in his own foot?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it doesn't look good for him, and if anyone is to blame, because we bash the Jamaica Football Federation, you know, and it's not a dictatorship. It's not a dictatorship by any means whatsoever. But in any organization whatsoever, Ryan, that whether you're at work, because if you're at work and your supervisor expresses something to you, right, and you go behind that supervisor's back, or even if the supervisor, it's not behind the supervisor's back, but you go to that associate that the supervisor spoke to you about and you say something, then you're speaking out of turn again. You get me? And then your supervisor is likely to be reprimanded, because it shows that, okay, the supervisor is probably consulting Ryan or talking with Ryan about certain things, whereas the supervisor is the head of that department. So if anything is wrong with that department, supervisor should be the face and representative. Unless it's a case where the supervisor isn't available, then you step forward and represent, and then you will express the views and show them as the views of your supervisor instead of your views. You get me? So we can't bash the JFF. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. It's a free country. You're free to express yourselves. You're free to do interviews, but you have to be diplomatic when you do certain interviews. So it's not coming on and saying anything because it's the truth. No one questions if it's a truth or not. We're not arguing that. We're arguing the capacity in which you're speaking. You watch the English Premier League. The players, when they're approaching the end of their contract and you ask them questions, they say, I leave it to whoever, or I'm focused on my club right now. It's not a matter of them not wanting to discuss it, you know. It's them giving you the diplomatic answer. You get me? They're giving you the political answers because they don't want it to go down a road where by the time they're ready to catch up on it, it's too late. So
I really understand. I really understand what you're saying, bro. I really understand. But boy,
I did a video on it. And I'm gonna release a video later on today. And I was questioning if the wait is over, because I got the information as well that the interviews were done. I got the information. that part.
But
When
really,
when
hold on. I
yeah,
feel like they want to get rid of him, but this is the thing where they're going to use and say, you think so?
If we're to start pulling on conspiracy theories, then I can go even further back. I can go to the Japan game because it seems quite convenient that that game that Wade was on the sideline, the team was switched up, and then as soon as Wade gets back to Jamaica, it seems as if he was responsible for the tour in general, because when he got back to Jamaica, he did the first interview. Um, Tappa was sick still, I guess. But he did the first interview and he gave a summation of the Japan tour. So putting Wade at the front line in that Japan game, and when he got back to Jamaica, again at the front line, Jamaica Observer, all the interviews there, it it, it kind of looks suspicious now that you're looking at it in hindsight and thinking, okay, then is it a case that they saw they saw it coming, they saw that he was going to go through the door, so they gave him a game on the touchline. That's how it not look good.
All right, this is what me get inside. And guys, I don't most correct, but most of the time when the person bring the news to me, he always right. But I afraid to do it because I don't want for people. I know Jamaican people stay. I come and bring one false news, them I go say yo, me no credible again.
Yeah, you lose
So
your
me
credibility.
always allow it make it pando.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lay out a disclaimer now. The information that will be disclosed by Ryan LFC now has not been proven, and we're just relaying the information to you as it was received. So when you receive the information, you make of it what you may, right? But we're not saying this is how it was or this is not how it was. We're just presenting the information based on the how we receive it from the sources. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, this is what me hear. Me hear say Theodore Whitmore never sick, and then put Jerome Waite on the line because they don't plan to move him on. But this is the game they're going to test him on. Secondly,
so hold on. Before we even go further, you see what I'm talking about now? Because folks, I did not have a discussion with Ryan about anything that he just said, right? I'm just telling you based on any logical mind what it appears to be. Because if this is what 2 weeks after the Japan tour, and Paul Hall was brought in a few days ago, like maybe over a week ago, and now they're looking replacement for Jerome Waite, because that's all I can say. Because if they're interviewing folks and they're calling him up to serious meetings, I can only think that they're looking at replacement for him. So the conspiracy continues. You can continue, Ryan.
Boy, it's so bad, bro. I feel it, bro, because before you even say, yo, you go get somebody else for the man, it even keep a meeting and say, all right, we're not really happy with you. This is not the way we want to go. I don't think you can help Coach Theodore Whitmore enough. You understand? But then go behind him back and then interview 2 local coach and 1 overseas coach to take him spot. We know the JFF don't have the money to have 6, 7, 8 coach. We know that. They always balling about the money, right? Every other national team probably have 6 to 7 coach. They have fitness coach, whatever they have. We don't have the money to pay 4 or 5 assistant coach. So I feel a way how they go behind the man back and interview other people. And
that is the other things, though. That is the other things, whether they like it or not, no?
So that means when they go in at this meeting, when them go in at this meeting, them don't have their mind say, yo, hear me?
If the candidate, you see, if the candidates who were interviewed, if they did well and they made a decision on him, this meeting will be the last of Jerome Waite. Let me put it bluntly. This meeting may very well be the end of him. Whereas if the interviews didn't go well and they didn't see a candidate that superseded Jerome Waite's capabilities, then we may very just see probably a talking to or a slap on the wrist with Jerome Waite.
All right. Let me tell a lot of people, because Jerome Waite coached me at Arnett Garden. You see, people like Jerome Waite, we need in football, in Jamaican football, especially with the federation, because Jerome Waite is the man. He's not afraid for talk.
Then that is a thing. That is a thing.
He don't, once things not going right, this is why I'm losing job so many times at Arnett Garden, because he's not like a coach, just like Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, once it going start bad, he going to point the finger. Oh, is Daniel Levy? He's the man didn't give me the money to buy the player them. That's why Jose Mourinho not going to keep him job for a long time, because as soon as he start to go the wrong way, he going to talk. And Jerome Waite always like this. From him at Arnett Garden.
That's what I'm saying, Ryan. That's what I'm saying. So if he's willing, because based on what I am seeing, Jerome Waite has a stronger personality than Theodore Whitmore. So it may be a case where he's very well expressing what Theodore Whitmore wants to say. However, he isn't confident or brave enough to say it, and to reciprocate it in a way that will get his message across to the federation and even to the masses. But it also begs into question, is this a person that the federation sees themselves working with? Because remember, you can't have two bulls in one pen. And the Jamaica Football Federation, it is known to be strong-handed. It is known to be one of those organizations that it is their way and no other way. So if they're saying one thing, it is our way and no other way. And Jerome Waite is saying, your way is not working. We need to go into this direction. Again, we have a tug of war. You get me? And the easy solution to that is for them to replace the person who is replaceable. And in this case, as things stand right now in this moment, the replaceable person is Jerome Waite.
I'm gonna put you up on the spot.
Okay.
This not nothing to do with Jerome Waite or William. This is just an ordinary question.
Okay.
Why, when Rennie Simmons 2-time was the head coach for the Jamaica national team, we have English player? Why, when Winford Schaefer was the head, the coach, why we don't hear so much of these news coming out of the JFF? It was there, but it was keep under the surface. Or we don't know if it there, because we never hear so much of these antics going on with the JFF. Is it not a strong leader by the coach? Because sometimes, when you have a coach, you don't lead from the front, some of these things can happen.
And it goes back again to the persons who we're dealing with, right? As I said, Theodore Whitmore is not that person who is strong-willed and is vocal and will stand for what he stands for and put his foot down. He'll come out and he'll say something out against whatever it is that's happening, and he'll probably go on a sabbatical for 2 weeks, and then everything will be good again. You get me? But when it comes to these coaches that we're bringing from overseas, they come in with a reputation, right? They are renowned coaches on the international stage. So I think it's more of the federation taking Theodore Whitmore for granted and taking advantage of him because they know the type of person he is. The other coaches on the international scene, they can pack up their bags and leave at any time, So the federation, they want to treat them as best as possible. It's almost as if when you have an overseas guest, if you're home and you have someone come, you have a relative that flies in from abroad, you ensure that you treat that relative so nice, your cousin or whoever, But if you have one dirty foot cousin cross the road where they come check every second, you treat that the cousin anyway. Because that the cousin got always there. You can't run him when I come back. But when your overseas guest leaves, chances are you can't go get them back again for another 2 year or 3 year. You get me? So yeah. we tend to embrace those persons a lot more. And folks put it in we're foreign minded and we embrace foreigners a lot more. It's put it however way you want to put it. And it's the same thing with even some of the footballers. Because again, you were on my show last week, I think. Was it last week? I don't even remember. Time flies so fast. I think it was Wednesday. And we spoke about the USL players and the local players and the players playing in England. And when the English players they make mistakes, we don't treat them the same way when as the local players will make mistakes, right? Because we know that the local players they always want to come back and all of that, but the English players we're afraid that okay, if we chastise them too hard, they probably won't want to return. And it's the same thing with the coaches that I'm seeing, right?
Yeah. So well, it really frustrated because you see under this environment you're not going to win nothing. And we're not going to go nowhere. Because we are
We've
gonna
said
always have setback after the
we've said
pitch.
we've said this that football is played even more off the pitch than on the pitch, you know? And we've said this on a number of occasions, and it's misconstrued. It's taken however they want to take it. People run with it and add what they want to add to it. But playing the football on the field is the easiest part of football, right? If you play under 13s, if you play whatever you want to play, you realize that you train for 6 months to play 90 minutes. It's the same thing with the Costa Cup. You start camping from May sometimes, just to play from September. So the preparation and everything that happens. So you're preparing on the field. Your school is ensuring that they're liaising with ISA and everybody to get the jerseys in, to get the shoes in, to get the field in order. All of these contribute to a successful game come September when the Costa Cup season starts. And it's the same thing with the national team. All the off the field shenanigans, they contribute to the performances that we see on the field. And we just feel like, okay, they just show up and they play badly or they play wonderfully. That's not how it works. There's a lot of preparation and planning and organization that goes into a team going out on the field and doing well. And you might come back and say, but wait, there are a lot that are organized and still don't come and do well. You'll always have that, but at the end of the day, they are organized and they can still put out a team consistently and constantly to go out there and compete. You get me? And that organization does that, and it trickles down all the way down to the grassroots of the football, and that's a discussion for another day. Because the lack of organization at the top, it is being replicated in everywhere else.
But you remember when Leon Bailey come out and say if we don't qualify for the World Cup, it's a JFF part. And remember, I watched an interview last week again. My father asked him, what kind of system we play, what kind of structure? He must say, we don't have a structure, we don't have a system. And it's really bad.
Hold on, and I remember explicitly, the first time I came on your live, Ryan, I mentioned that the Jamaican national team does not have a system. And I think
well, I ask you a question. What is a system? Because people always say, I don't know what is a system. Jose Mourinho, reason why Jose Mourinho gets so much sack for the last 10 years. This type of football we play. Jose Mourinho specific more ask you about.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho's type of football when stay behind the ball and catch people on the counter. That is a system. And what is a system?
Okay. All right. Essentially the system is the structure of not only the structure of the team, but the objective of the team on and off the ball. Right? When the team goes out there, you'll have a plan, you'll have a framework as to okay, what are we going to play today? So you will say, for example, we're playing 4-4-2 or 3-5-2 or whatever, and persons tend to misconstrue or to use them interchangeably, saying, okay, no, I'm not taking over. I'm on my break at work, so I'm just saying my 2 cents, and then I'm going to leave. All right. So as I was saying, so folks tend to misconstrue a system and a formation, right? So you can go there with a 3-5-2 formation and still be playing counter-attacking football. You get me? But the system is intrinsically entrenched into the mindset of them. As someone said in there, it's a style of play. So you know what to do when you're in possession, and you know what to do when you're out of possession. The Jamaican football team, we don't see any organization, any forethought to what they're doing on the field. And this forethought would have been taught to them over time. So when you come in, and that's what I'm saying, when players are removed from even a Liverpool team, If you take out Sadio Mane and you put in Jota, they know that, okay, our system is the gegenpress then, right? So we're going to press from the top, and when we're pressing from the top, it's 6 pressing at any given time. So you have Mane, Salah, and you have Firmino pressing with Wijnaldum, Henderson, and you get me? So everyone is moving in unison because everyone knows what they're expected to do. You know what your role is. So, yeah, formula, I totally agree. So it's a combination of everything that's mentioned there. But how people get it wrong is they use one instead of the other. So when they talk about system, they say, okay, it's 4-4-2 system. No, that's not how it works. And they say 3-5-2 system. No, that's how it works. That's how it works. You get me? So overall, your system entails, as Formula rightfully said, your style of play, formation, the roles of each player, and that forethought that is entrenched into the mindset of the players as to what is expected of them on and off the ball. I hope that makes sense.
Me don't call Jose Mourinho type of footballer a system. That outdated. That's why I'm getting so much sack, brother.
But it is still a system. You get me? It is still a system because each player that
so
hold
why
on, right.
So what
So what I'm gonna allow you, Yeah, go ahead.
So why every time him gets sacked, the owner say we don't want to play that type of football. We want to play him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it is still a system. It is just that probably how teams are playing now, that system isn't conducive to the age that we're in. You get me? And it's the same thing with Pep Guardiola. When Pep Guardiola left Barcelona, folks in England were saying that system could not work in England. You get me?
True.
Because of how physical the game was, because how fast paced, all of that. You get me? So they said his system couldn't work in England, and he came there and he took the time. And if it were only for the system being the formation, then he could have come in and he could have tried the Barcelona formation that he had. But it took time, and he took the time to instill in the mindset of all these players what is expected, what do you do on and off the ball, the small triangles, all of that. You get me? And now, whoever you take out of that Manchester City team, if you take out Ferland Mendy and put in Zinchenko, who's a natural midfielder in the left back position, he can still do a job for you. If you take out Kevin De Bruyne out of midfield and put him in the false 9 position, he can still do a job for you. Albeit it might not be as effective, but he still knows the role that is expected of him to play. You get me? Go ahead.
Watch this. Look at it. Italy, one of the best team in Europe. Nobody give them credit. You know why? Because they don't have a lot of superstar player like France, like Portugal, like England, like Germany. But nobody mentioned them. But trust me, Italy is the best team in the Euro. They play. No, seriously. After my laugh.
But no, you said no one mentioned it, but you did the live before the Euros began, and I spoke about Italy at length, and you said half them I think you're an Italian fan, you know, because
but guess what? May I watch a few video of the Italian team, Bridging. The man give 35 player cap. 35 player since him take over as manager. You know what the Italy brother, you know what the Italy Federation said when I listened to the video where the Italian Federation, they reach out to a certain type of coach. They reach out to chief coach. Can't remember the chief coach them reach out to. And then him said, you know what type of football we want to play? We want to up in other people's face. Man said it was a disgrace to watch Italy versus Sweden in 2018. They weren't playing a playoff for the World Cup. And Italy sit back and I try soak up pressure to catch him on the break. And the man said, the federation, the people in the federation said they want to move away from that. They want to play attacking football. Hold on. When the man pick up the phone and call Mancini and say, listen, because Mancini was at Galatasaray at the time. No, Mancini in high demand. Everybody want Mancini to be back the manager. The man pick up the phone and call Mancini and say, listen, this is how I want the Italian to play attacking football, pressing high. And the man said to him, say, you call the right man for the job. I surely can give you that. No, the man takes some player we play for Lazio, we even play for the first team. But guess what? A man call up some player that can fit in theme style of play and the system. Same thing. If you take a few man out of Liverpool team, look on the team that beat Barcelona a couple years ago, when no Firmino, no Salah, the system, and the same thing Craig Butler said, bro, the system, when you just take out a one player, when you just take out a one or two player and you put in another player, it's supposed to work. This is why Klopp and Pep Guardiola system them work. When you have a style of play, we don't have nothing, bro, Reggie.
Yeah, and I'm going to add to what you just said, because Italian teams, they were known throughout the ages to be
Sit back.
robust and tough, and whenever you talk about Italy, you talk about defense, and everybody knows that Italy defense. Once you mention Italy, you mention defense, and if we are to be honest with ourselves, throughout the past 4 or 5 years, Italian teams haven't been doing well in the Champions League. And they haven't been doing well in the Europa League either. And this is because Europe has grown away from that style or that system. You have a lot of teams who used to try and be like the top Juventus teams. They were stern defensively, and then they had exceptional players at the top end of the field who could create magic and that sort of thing. But that's not the case now. Everyone wants to play with the ball at their feet. Even the goalkeepers now. If Gianluigi Buffon, he's struggling today's game, and that's why he's gone back to where he's gone back. I think Parma, and this name player football is. Yeah, that's why he's back at Parma now.
You just said, me no cut you. You just say Italy team find it difficult to play in the Champions League because them system is outdated. Now the same thing is Jose Mourinho too, man.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can't say there's not a system. It is there, but it's just outdated. But if we were to tie this discussion back to the Jamaican national team now,
you think Theodore Whitmore system outdated then?
That's what I'm saying, that there's not even a system there, much less to be outdated. You get me?
Because Theodore Whitmore play behind the ball.
Yeah, when we go out there, but some players, when we add players into the fray then, because Theodore plays behind the ball, fine. It did well for us the last World Cup. But when we add new players to the fray, these players appear to be fish out of water because they don't know what is expected of them. They don't. All right. For example, that game against Japan then, Jerome Waite said the players weren't disciplined and the team lacked the energy that Theodore Whitmore would have given on the sideline, and the same level of respect. I'm quoting Jerome Waite here. The same level of respect that is shown to Theodore Whitmore, it needs to be shown to the entire coaching staff. What that is saying to me, that level of respect is not being reciprocated to Jerome Waite and the rest of the coaching staff then, as they're showing to Theodore Whitmore. And they went out there and they were all over the place. Now, if you have a system that is in place, regardless of the person who is on the sideline, the players would have known their responsibilities beforehand because they trained the day before, they would have prepared the morning before, had their team talk, etc. So even if Theodore wasn't on the sideline to be running up and down, they would have known their responsibilities. And it's the same thing with when you have a big team and a player is injured. When a player goes in, remember, if a player is a second string player should always be ready to go in to do a job, regardless of the timing in the game. When that player is going in, you don't hear the coach giving him a dossier and saying, okay, this is page 1, you should go through this. This is page 2. No, they probably show them a few things on the board. This player is causing a little bit of problem. Keep an eye on him. But intrinsically, that player knows his responsibility before he lays foot on the pitch. You get me? So that's my 2 cents on that. Reggae Boyz does not have an identity. And again, the fourth official, the identity is a part of the system, right? So when you play when players know their role, when the formation comes together and the system, then they create an identity.
Half-time. How the Germans play? How the German play over the years from Germany?
Okay, German has always been a running team. So everyone how do I put it? Everyone does a job for the team then. It's not where, okay, you have a left back who is not running. Everyone in the German, and that's why people say the Germans are machines. Because if it's 90 minutes, if the forward runs 10.7 kilometer, the midfielder is going to run 10.7 kilometer, and the defender is going to run 10.7 kilometer as well. So Germans are constantly running, they're constantly pressing, they're fast, they're everything, and that's what they offer. You get me? Whenever you're playing against a German team, you know that, okay, if you decide to play counter-attacking football, you're going to get a lot of running from the Germans regardless. And
them formation always have two wingers, just like how Bayern Munich play.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm sure I'm talking about, because at the club level, Bayern Munich tends to be a replica of how Germany sets up. And at any given time, we'll have 4 or 5 players from Bayern Munich going straight into the German team, because Bayern Munich is basically the German academy, for the academy for the German national team. Put it that way. So it's just what it is, and I think that's one of the main reasons why the German coach who won the Champions League last year is going to take over the German national team at the end of this Euros.
I realize that most of the time the German national coach always the German national coach always come to Bayern.
Because Bayern Munich runs Germany. If we're to assess the Bundesliga, you know, all the big players who come up in the Bundesliga, they end up at Bayern Munich.
But you know, more ask you still, this now nothing to do with no money, forget a style of play. This now nothing to do with no good football pitch. Brighton, you saw them play. Brighton have a lot of big name player. You know why Brighton's system don't work just like Liverpool and Manchester United? Because they don't have good player. But guess what?
They don't have the quality player, but the players who come in, they do a job.
So check this out.
Roma say.
People, bless up on yourself. Manners and respect. Honestly, when it comes to, you mentioned Jose Mourinho earlier, saying that Jose Mourinho have a system. Jose Mourinho, I don't think Jose Mourinho have a system, and this is where I disagree with you. Jose Mourinho plays differently in every club that he goes to. If you remember Jose Mourinho from Porto and how he played with Porto, especially when he won the Champions League, Jose Mourinho was highly defensive. After Jose Mourinho left Porto, straight to Inter Milan, and Inter Milan in Italy is always going to be the pragmatic, defensive type football. So
no, leave Italy, leave Porto, and come Chelsea.
And came to Chelsea. But I will allow you to finish. Right. I'll allow you to finish, and then I'm going to rebut on what you said.
So I remember Jose Mourinho championships at Chelsea, or Chelsea play pragmatic football, right?
Yeah.
And win the league again under Jose Mourinho with that same defensive type football. And when him go Real Madrid, is a totally different Jose Mourinho, right? Because he have a totally different set of players in a totally different set league, right? So where I'm heading with this is and listen and see if we can walk with me a little bit. When it comes to a system is different from a style of play, right? A system comprises of multiple different things. Pep Guardiola has a system. Pep Guardiola's system revolves around playing the ball, 1-2 touches, making spaces for each other, having that triangle come all over the place. Same with Barcelona and bring it in a Manchester City, where there's always a left back, right back coming into the midfield to help out Fernandinho to make sure you create that triangle. That's the main part of Pep Guardiola's system. Jose Mourinho depends solely on his defensive midfielder and his defense and one striker, which is why he buy Lukaku for Manchester United, which is why he have Drogba at Chelsea. Jose Mourinho does not have a system. Jose Mourinho have a style of play.
Okay. Before you finish, my argument was the system comprises of the style of play, right? So the style of play, the formation, all of those, they make up the system, right? With all the teams that Jose Mourinho has managed, there is some factors or characteristics that are similar wherever he goes. Could it be, my argument now, that when he went to Real Madrid, the personalities in that Real Madrid changing room were the primary reasons it was difficult for him to change everything? Because when he came to Chelsea, remember when he came to Chelsea, he was the man, right? He was the biggest name at Chelsea at the time. right? When he went to Porto, regardless of the names that were there, Jose Mourinho, not Porto, sorry, Inter Milan. Jose Mourinho came in as the man, right? Those are who he didn't want, he got rid of them. When he came back to Chelsea again, it's the same thing again. And we see the same characteristics. It might not be the same personnel because based on the persons who he has at his disposal. In Chelsea's case, he had Eden Hazard in one instance where he could rely on the brilliance of Hazard to do whatever. He had Willian, who had a remarkable season one at the time as well. Chelsea finished, I think, 10th that season. But at the end of the day, there is something intrinsically entrenched in when you go out there and you watch it, you say, okay, this is a Jose Mourinho team. When you go out there and watch it, you say this is a Pep Guardiola team. But that style of play that I mentioned too is a part of his system on a whole, rather than it just being a style of play. Because a style of hold on, a style of play, you can teach person's style of play in probably 7 or 8 or 9 training sessions. You can show them on paper and then practice it on the field and they get it. You get me?
All right, I need you to describe to me what Jose Mourinho's system is. I don't want you to point out individuals because I can, just like I just described to you what a system looks like under Pep Guardiola. I need you to describe to me what a system looks like under Jose Mourinho. And then I'll tell you what Jose Mourinho's style of play is and why they're different. Tell me what a system looks like under Jose Mourinho.
Okay, Jose Mourinho's system is keeping the defensive midfielders closer to the
defender.
Right, so regardless of the case that you have, the defensive midfielders, he'll always play 2 and he'll keep them close to the defenders. The midfielders will also have to chip in whatever they are doing to help contribute towards the defensive aspect of the game. Wherever he goes, we see that same thing where players, regardless of how they play the ball on the floor, everyone knows that your job is expected to come back and help out down here when you're needed. And that's the issue where he had with Hazard because he said he wasn't giving enough work. He loved Willian because Willian was the type of person to come back and to help out there. So at the end of the day, you have 9 defenders then and then 2 attackers.
All right, so may I show you how we know Jose Mourinho does not have a system, but he has a style of play derived from a particular system of football, right?
Okay.
So here Jose Mourinho football work, which is why he never really liked Martial on the wing. And you're right, Hazard never did go flourish and with him on the wing. You remember him first into Chelsea, man like Shevchenko was just killing it all over the world, couldn't work at Chelsea because of the fact that the way he play. Jose Mourinho's style of football is solely dependent on a particular type of footballer, right? The Michael Essien.
Workhorse.
Right? The workhorse and the midfield.
He needs everyone to do a role.
But a system of football, as you rightly said earlier, you can take out one person out of that system
and put it and it work.
And it work. Jose Mourinho, you cannot do that with Jose Mourinho football, which is why everywhere he goes, he depends solely on making sure that the board give him everything that he wants. Because if you don't have this particular player that he wants, you cannot thrive in Jose Mourinho football. Which is why it's a style of football.
So again, I'm gonna stick a pin there. Is it then the reason why these managers, wherever they go, they ensure that they have the personnel who are able to fit in whatever they're doing? Because you mentioned then, if you take out one person out of Pep Guardiola's team then, or whatever the team is, if you take out one person out of that team, you should be able to put somebody in there to do the same job. That's how the system works, right? We all agree on, right? We have a Pep Guardiola then. Do you think if Pep Guardiola, for example, brings in, who can I say? Brings in a Phil Jones then, for example, a Phil Jones. Say, for instance, he brings in Phil Jones. God forbids if that ever happens. Do you think if he takes John Stones or Ruben Diaz out of that defense unit, I'm not talking about how he defends or anything, Do you think Phil Jones will carry out the same responsibilities as
you won't have to look far to get your answer, fam. Let's check this out. You realize
I'm asking yes or no.
The answer is yes, I'm gonna go give the rationale behind it.
Yeah.
Look at Sterling and Foden for England compared to Sterling and Foden for Manchester City. Totally different players. Zinchenko, whatever I name. Totally different
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko, yeah.
Zinchenko
So let me finish. Hold on, Milan.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Pep Guardiola's style of football. These men, when they train together, they know they have a job, a particular job. Zinchenko know when him play left back, he knows that once him go inside, him have that help for Fernandinho and for link up with the triangle with either Gundogan or Kevin De Bruyne, right? He knows his job. You take him out of that system and put him in a different team. Look how Guardiola make John Stones look like him at the next Rio Ferdinand Barn White. Because him go in our system and him put Ruben Diaz. Look how Ruben Diaz look like crap the other day for Portugal. And Ruben Diaz is one of the best defenders that them saying at the whole Premier League this season. Mm-hmm. Because you're playing a particular system, you're playing people around you, you know exactly what you're doing, the game becomes very easy. You take that particular player out of that system and put him in something else, and then they look just normal and frank, which is why we say going back to bringing this back full circle to the whole Jamaica thing. It is very ludicrous to me why the coach is not picking in team. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Right, because as I said, I can agree. I can agree on certain aspects, but I can also disagree. And we can all agree that the coach not picking his team doesn't make any sense. And even with the games being opportunities to see the players, I thought that was another. I don't want to even say it, but how is it then you're using practice games to get the opportunity to see players that were brought in from wherever? You should have scouted these players and seen that, okay, this player fits in perfectly if, for example, a Damian Lowe isn't fit, or this player fits in perfectly if a Leon Bailey isn't fit. And this, again, we go back to scouting, because all these managers that we just alluded to, they pick players and they send their directors or whoever to get players who fit into their ideas. If it was a case where you can bring in any player and that player can do the job for you, then Pep Guardiola would buy any player he feels. Jose Mourinho would buy any player he feels. But he buys players to come into the team who he can reliably depend on to do the job for him when called upon, right? Now, our national team, when the manager says, if halftime TV says, all right then, fourth official, I need Ryan, because Ryan is a good backup goalkeeper. Ryan is good with the ball at his feet, etc. Right? No, just for argument's sake, right? He's good with the ball at his feet, right? And you go out and you don't get Ryan, you know. You bring in probably a Dave then. And Dave can't kick a ball to save him life. He can't take a back kick. Do you think when our number one goalkeeper gets injured, the coach is going to be confident when we put Dave in the goal? No, the coach will be lost. He won't know what to expect. And even him imparting instructions to Dave, it will almost be as if he's talking to a blank wall, because he does not know and he isn't aware as much of what Dave is capable of. So as to say, for instance, Dave isn't good with his feet. So when Dave is going out there, you tell Dave, each time you get the ball, you make sure it's a Damian Lowe take the back kick, or you make sure it's a whoever take the back kick. You get me there?
So this is why people like you, Ryan, coaches this, and everybody like that is very important to them, because we need the Jamaican public to be educated by Wagwan so that we can get rid of these people out of the JFF. Because honestly, we don't know the dynamics of Wagwan in the JFF. I'm not gonna say it loud. Like, we don't know if Theo Whitmore coming up with a system and saying to the people in the JFF, said, this is my system, this is how I want to play, get me these players, and the JFF just said, no, I'm not listen to you. I'm gonna get a 38-year-old man where unattached. The last time I see the word unattached next to an athlete is at track meet, when the man them have a club for run for and then put them name unattached. Unattached is supposed to be near footballer. Ravel Morrison, the same thing. Or if you're unattached as a footballer, you're unattached to your woman when you're not talk to her, you're not unattached to football, fam. You understand what I say? So there shouldn't be a point where we as football fans sitting down wondering if the JFF is picking the team for the coach. Why is
it's not wondering, innit? It's not
wondering.
wondering.
It's not at the point where we're wondering.
It's not wondering because it's in black and white. So for those who are going to come under the video now and say fake news was said by whoever, whenever, it is in black and white, and it was published on June 13, 2021. You can the Jamaica Observer, you can check it out, and the football GPS, it is on YouTube. So this is the information. So I didn't even have to stretch far to get the information.
So when we look at that 60-man squad, right? When we look at that 60-man squad, I will start asking questions like, why is this man in the team and that man not in the team? We know, say, are nothing but friending. There's no other explanation. It has to be some friending, like somebody have somebody number.
Brother, I asked the question. A lot of thing, man.
I asked the question. If we are to pick then or best 60 or best 23 or whatever it is, what would be some of the names that we see on there? Because persons are supposed to be rewarded for the national team based on merit, based on what you're playing and how you're performing for your club or whatever, because you play club football all year round. Right. So when you get the call up, your call up should be based on what you have done throughout the year or whatever this past 6 months. Because I won't even say year, because some people they have a torrid first half and the second half they improve significantly. So I can say, all right, the coming up to the tournament or coming up to the national call up, how you were performing prior. Right?
Time, because you hit the nail on the head, right? Sorry for cutting out, but you know what?
No worries.
Got this. You hit the nail on the head. The national team should be the pinnacle of your football, right? The national team should be that point in which you say, yes, I did so well over the year that my national team called me to represent them. It shouldn't be a case where you have a baller when you play since December.
I know, so I'm sure if you go in.
And him come play a practice match as his first match ever for half a year. It shouldn't be a case where we have Jamaican Football Federation is like a Salvation Army. You know, you don't play football for a year. Just come play local football over here. It shouldn't be that when others over there playing, willing and ready to play. And can't get called up. It no makes sense.
And players leaving all them league to come back at Jamaica for playing at the National Premier League just to ensure that people see them so they can get a call up to go in the team.
But Rudolph's feed I kind of, I don't know where Rudolph's feed him keep on as Rudolph's feed speaking the team, but yet still we hear people in the camp saying the JFF has been involved picking some of the thing. Listen, we just want the man to just be straight up with it.
Coach, here's my analysis of the situation, right? Theodore Whitmore may be the one picking the 11 or the 19 or the 23 or whatever. But whenever the players are getting called up or the group or the pool for him to choose from, the Jamaica Football Federation is the one responsible for it, right? So he can say Theodore Whitmore is picking the team, but Theodore Whitmore is picking the team based on the players that the Jamaica Football Federation brought in for him to pick from.
But that shouldn't be the case. It should be the manager.
No, I'm not saying that's the case in a right.
No, I know.
Analysis of the situation.
Because when Garrett Southgate is the one who pick the thing and call up the player them, it's no the federation for just deal with sponsorship and make sure that things run good. It no should be they calling up
Garrett Southgate. English media picks the team for Garrett Southgate, and he picks from that.
At least we know that more than the JFF doing thing. And may I tell you, bitch,
the only thing the JFF supposed to be doing right now is marketing the product, putting up some jerseys so that we can buy some jerseys and support the team, and making sure that every overseas player who's willing and able to play for the country have them visa within a week and a half to 2 weeks. There's no way the JFF should be selecting players for the team. That's a coach's job. That's a scout's job. If Theodore Whitmore as a coach does not know what players he wants for his team, he should not be a coach. Point blank and period. The JFF should not be selecting a 60-man squad. The JFF is responsible for management and management only of football in Jamaica. Not necessarily managing the team itself. That's a Whitmore job. If Whitmore can't pick a set of players for his own team, then Whitmore should not be in the job.
Donovan Taylor, hold on. Before you continue, Donovan Taylor, Tappa did not pick Luca Levy. Funny thing, you know, I was watching the last game with my wife, and she saw Luca Levy and she was asking about him because it was the first she was seeing him in the team. And I mentioned that, oh, he's a local player and whatnot. And her words were, how come he's in the team then and local football hasn't been played in how long? And I couldn't even say anything. I just left it at that. I acted as if I didn't hear any at all. And I'm like, okay, then if she can see this and she doesn't even pay attention to football that much, for the most part she hates it because I spend so much time on it. And she can just pass by and see that and say, okay, how does this player get in and he hasn't played in however long? It goes all the way back again to, are they trying to save face? Because I have nothing against local players. I have nothing against English-based players. I have nothing against none of the players. But my mindset, how I look at it, is the best 11 players or the best 23 players at the point where the international break occurred are supposed to be included in the national setup. So if, for example, when international break announced that, okay, we're gonna have an international break next week, and Rome has been injured since the beginning of June, there is no way I'm going to call Rome into the team because Rome is injured, right? Ryan has been sitting at home because Ryan decided, okay, I want to give football a break. He's been sitting at home making YouTube videos. There's no way I'm going to call Ryan and say, okay, you're invited to the national setup next week. That doesn't make any sense. And any well-thinking individual or human being, I should say, should be looking at it the same way. And that's the same reason why people are saying no USL players should be included as well. Because they're saying, okay, this player over here is better than that player, but that player hasn't been playing for a year or hasn't been playing for 2 years. So why not then might as well we get the USL players in, because these are our guys who have been playing competitive football week in, week out for however long, whereas football in Jamaica has been stunted for a year plus.
What about this? When the man say, oh, go ahead, Room.
What I was about to say is what people fail to realize is that real life and FIFA are two different things. While you can have a man in FIFA who hasn't been played, you put him on and in fresh 80 points per FIFA and go on and play well. It's not that simple in real life. You have a man who hasn't been playing for months, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. It will take him time not only to get physically ready to play the game, mentally ready to play the game, but football is all about rhythm as well. Right? You ever wonder why when you stay away from football for so long and you go on and you touch a ball, you feel like, wait, can I really play ball for real?
You can't juggle it.
Yeah,
I feel it. I feel
exactly.
I feel it. What here, bro?
Yeah,
I don't kick a ball for 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks.
And then you wonder to yourself, wait, we can't really play ball for real. I want to me. It happens on a regular basis, so that's why we have pre-season. That's why we train every day. So if you have a man out of the game for so long and bring him in to come play for the national team, that makes sense.
It's a national embarrassment too. I won't get to that as yet. For you spoke about being mentally ready, being sharp, and being physically ready. And I think being mentally ready supersedes all of those facets that you mentioned. Because the mindset you have when you're actually in the game, right? People tend to discredit this, You're constantly on edge. When I used to play during my time in the Casa Cup, the coach used to say, okay, eat a banana an hour or so before the game, because banana is high in potassium, good for your brain, right? He always said, have this before the game, because you need to be sharp mentally before you're sharp physically. Because if you're not thinking fast, if you're not reacting fast, and all of these actions or whatever you want to call it, they come from your mind and how you're thinking. Because if you're a lazy person and you don't want to think about anything, you don't question anything, you will find that whenever you go out there and you play, you will appear lazy as well, right? So it's just about being mentally sharp more than anything else. And in order to be mentally sharp, you need to be actively competing, right? If you're not competing, then it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to leave you guys now, because as I said, I'm at work, I'm at break.
But before you leave, we'll leave you that one question here. One question. Do you think, if I was watching a few things of Craig Butler's system and stuff, I know Craig Butler is a good coach at the youth level, but not know him as a coach, for manage a national team. Do you think would that be a very good candidate, not to coach a team, but around or assist Theodore Whitmore?
I think with Craig Butler, if he is around Theodore Whitmore, it will be Craig Butler, right? Because he's that type of person who wherever he is, he will want to be the main man. So I don't think if we're keeping Theodore Whitmore, I don't think having Craig Butler there will contribute to the growth. I think it's one or the other, because if Craig Butler is going to be there, as I said, his personality will dictate that, okay, I am the man, and he will say to Theodore Whitmore, that's not how it's supposed to be done, it's my way. You get me? So that's a vibe I get from Craig Butler. His interviews, his aura, everything. I've heard him done interviews with Timon Crosstill where it turned into a shouting match and all of that because of how he is. And I don't see Theodore Whitmore as the person who will engage in a shouting match with him. And as such, I think if he is there, it will be about him. All right? I hope that answers that.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your time with the lunchtime. Me and Roma go kick with them boy your foot out, cause two we know all about.
All right. I'll be in the comments, guys. I don't want you to get a lawsuit.
All right. I will try my best.
Yeah, man. Blessings, Rob.
Blessings. Let's preface everything with allegedly here, sir.
All right, allegedly. All right, my brethren. All right. Rome, what you really think about Craig Butler? A lot of people don't like how him come off. I think him really can help this JFF team by either be the assistant or be a part of the board. I really think him have something of value, because no player, no manager or no agent gets so much player across. I would say coach. No coach gets so much play across Europe and stuff. That simply means him doing something good.
I think in personality more than anything else is what's needed, yeah. Because a lot of people are saying Whitmore, if you get somebody blame because him laid back. And I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. Is Whitmore assertive enough to make demands as a coach as to what you want and how you want the game played? You understand what I say? So I think that type of personality is exactly what the team needs, whether it's in an assistant level or him being the head coach. We need people who are willing and able to call truth to power. Meaning, when the JFF look at you and tell a fool, it's just like, hey, this is in the list of players that you have to choose from. You just look upon them and say, no, go with that. You need to take that man out and put in these man. It's as simple as that. But you turn around and show the coach and say, these are list of players you have to choose from. And the coach is superior and say, yes, massa. Okay, massa, I'm gone. Then it make no sense. You at that point, you just become a yes man. So if you have someone who is in charge, like when Rennie Simoes was in charge of football, you know, maybe a lot of you guys will be watching the game, and maybe I age myself right now, but when Rennie Simoes was in charge of football as a little man growing up in the 90s, and
hold on, I was going to ask you that question. Why you can't talk when Rennie Simoes and Winford Schaefer, why we never hear so much problem with it? With Whitmore is not a good leader.
No, because Rennie Simoes and Schaefer and them man they have control of the football. Couple of things. Man like Horace Burrell is a football man. God rest him man soul, yes. The man is a football man. Regardless of all him faults, he was a footballing man. Which means that he makes sure that the football was the main thing. The people in charge of the JFF right now just in it for themselves, you know, brother. Who knows what kind of backdoor dealings these man are going right now? Because man like Rennie Simoes, Schaefer and them man, they never have these type of problems because they were given the autonomy to do what they wanted to do that suits the football in Jamaica, which is why we had so much success under Simoes. Remember, this is not the first time overseas based players coming into Jamaica, you know. The same man where the assistant manager now, Paul Hall, was an overseas based player. Then bringing in a Wally is an overseas based player, Dean Burton, the film goal carrier World Cup, you know. You understand? So this whole phenomenon is not brand new. If you give the coach the autonomy to do what he wants to do, the coach should know how he wants to play. Now, if Whitmore did have all the authority that he needs and still pick the same crappy side and still pick the same man them when I play, then we can blame Whitmore. But because the JFF is taking over these things and running it themselves and trying to have, I think, a whole heap of undermining backdoor stuff, And that's why we can't get no better with the team.
You think it's just a Jamaican thing? They don't respect Coach Whitmore. I think Carl Brown as a manager, he's a good leader and him talk very good to the press. I think Whitmore kind of lay back. And I interviewed a Jamaican player, a big Jamaican player, and the man called Whitmore a puppet to the JFF. He's not going to speak when they're doing wrong thing. This is why I like Jerome Waite, because when things not going film way and things going wrong, he call out the big man them at Arnett Garden. While Theodore Whitmore not going to do that, he will say something and then after him say I'm going to be quiet for the next 2 weeks. So
Right. And
person like Craig Butler, we need a limb person in the federation. We're going to talk about one of the things to get better. I don't think them respect Theodore Whitmore enough. First of all, they want to give the man some little chump change to coach a team. I remember they was paying Winford for millions of dollars to coach a team. And yet still the man have to resign and they call him back. That show you that they don't respect him because they don't value him a lot. When somebody
yeah,
don't
but
value a lot, you know.
yeah, but Whitmore go back without negotiating all of that. You understand? Remember, all of this is negotiation, you know. When you want a man to manage a team, you know, right? You negotiate with him the ins, outs, yes, no's, is his do and don'ts, right? So if Whitmore going back into when them call him back and them sort out the money aspect of it, why is it that Whitmore is not saying, hey, this is what I want in order to make this program a success? Whitmore's record is great, you know. We're not complaining about Whitmore's record in terms of results, you know. But why is it that he's not demanding that he has control of the team? He has control of selection, right? JFF is supposed to be involved in setting rules, in following rules, regulations of FIFA, you know, making sure that you enforce said rules, not picking teams from. Where is Whitmore's authority? I don't judge Whitmore's performance and his preparations or his dealings with the media. This coming out now, these facts that we're hearing now shows me that Whitmore is nothing but a puppet when them call him back. They just needed someone to be the face of Jamaica football while them run it in the back. You understand? And that is why if Craig Butler come and take over, we might see change, because I keep saying this. Butler is a football man, fam. Butler is a football man. The rest of them, these people we are on the JFF right now. You didn't know them before them coming to JFF? You know them before them coming to JFF, before them take over?
Yeah, I know. Mr. Speed is a football man. He believe in a youth. Mr. Speed believe in a youth. I have to give Mr. Speed a lot of credit for that. The president now is not the president. The president is more like he's not a football person. We know the president as someone who deal with a lot of government stuff. He work in the government. I remember where he work for the government, but he more about the government stuff. We don't know him as any big top footballer or something like so.
That's the point. That's my point exactly, fam. Horace Burrell, as me keep on going back to him, was a football man. Yes, we know that his interest was in football, right? This man wasn't talking about this man prior to being the president of the JFF was a politician. You understand what I say? So his interest is not football, but his interest is procedures and making sure that he's politically correct or incorrect, or making as much as he can for himself and them colleagues, fam. It's not about the game. I keep saying this over and over. We wouldn't have to be searching for sponsorship if we exercise the brand of Jamaica as best as we can. Right? People will be flocking to Jamaica to make sure that we can that they can pay if we represent we. You understand what I say? There need to be videos, about 5-minute compilation videos from all our superstars in promoting the team, pushing the product, pushing Jamaican heritage. We not see that. And that the JFF supposed to have focus on. They're supposed to have focus on picking the team where the coach supposed to do. Foolishness, fam. You're mute, brother.
Blessing, my brother. What you have to say about the Tappa?
Blessings, Ryan. Fourth official, I agree with you 100%. Captain Burrell was a man who loved football. Zin? And as it relates to the coach, I hear you talk about Winfred Schaefer and Rennie Simmons. The difference with those guys, My problem with Theodore is this. When he came in first in 2003, he was one who was following the older guys to say, hey, do away with the English players and do it ourselves. Zin, that campaign failed. He came back with the same initiative. I mean, I don't have a problem with local based players in the team. But to me, we alone cannot do it with local based players, bro. We need more professionalism in the team, and local based players cannot bring that. And let's be honest.
Honestly, I'm going to say something right now. It is controversial, hot take, and a lot of you guys might not like it. But the main point is this. Our local based players are not good enough to get us to any World Cup. Our local based players are not good enough to win a Gold Cup.
Thank you for that speech, the brother, because I the same thing we just going to say.
A lot of us afraid to accept that, but it's true.
And with this new thing now with Jerome Waite, is saying that they are personally for me, if we allow Waite and Theodore is the same thing. If we allow them to pick the team, it's going to full of local based players because they themselves don't want English players. And it's just the fact. We're having an issue with that over the years. Theodore have 5 years to call the best. If he did interested in going to England, he would have done that and select our best. He did not choose to do that until late now. At JFF, if we could do that now, when them realize, say, yo, if you look into it, we could not even make it into the Nation League with the local based players. We couldn't beat El Salvador and those teams. Come on, let's start facts.
We need a lot of people, like when they're on the channels like the Coaches Desk and you read the comments where we're talking about the Jamaican talent, a lot of people out there willing and just ready for put their make on the line for the Jamaican talent. I love the football coming out of Jamaica. A lot of us are willing and able to have the talent to move out of Jamaica and play elsewhere. But the main point is this: the talent that we have, Jamaica football that we play, our infrastructure, our football infrastructure is not good enough for us to develop players good enough to win a World Cup. We have to go outside. At the same thing in 98. At the same thing,
Thank you for
that time, we have to go outside and bring the talent that's already there. These players have been developed in England, the place where football was born. And me, I tell you right now, the third division of England, League 2, is way better than the first division of Jamaica. And if you have a baller, a defender who will play consistently, or a midfielder in the third division of England, and you have to choose a Jamaican player who hasn't been playing for over a year over that player, then you not really have interest in Jamaican football at heart. You have somebody who can link you and tell you about football or send you money, maybe, allegedly. Backdoor deals, allegedly.
And I agree, brother. And I agree.
It's simple facts.
100% I agree.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right? I grew up in Jamaica, right? I play football, Manning Cup. Play Manning Cup for 1 year. I Oberlin play against in the same season. We get lumped up with Calabar, JC, and Georges, right? And we get a one bag of beat we get that season, but we don't need to talk about it. Anyway, the point that I'm making is, me as I used to grow up in Hills of St. Andrew, right? We get to go Oberlin and start a program and follow through it and get to play in a Manning Cup and have the experience of playing in Manning Cup. Get scholarship to come over here in America and play football and run track and them something there. Not all of us have that opportunity. A lot of youths right now, we go through the school system, have opportunities right now to go overseas. And that's when them go overseas. Look at Maggie. Maggie played at Jamaica, go overseas, and that's when him realize what real football is, when him get exposed to football, when him start learn the actual game. Coaches at Jamaica only show you the basics to make sure so you can play the game and win, That's all the coaches care about, When you go overseas and when you go in a different football infrastructure, you start learn the sport. You start learn when to make runs, how to make runs. Knowing that you need to come back, knowing the system, you start learning the game itself as opposed to just knowing, say, all right, control as a means to an end. Make sure you pass the ball there, run there, and you get the ball, shoot. You start learning technique, you start learning the game itself. And so, the type of footballing infrastructure we have which is no fault of the footballers, but because of the country and our economy and alleged corruption in our system. We cannot build that type of football. So you need to let go of the false hope that man from Harbourview, Arnett Garden, and Tivoli United are going to build a Jamaica team and get us to the Gold Cup or win the Gold Cup or win the World Cup. Never happen.
Big brother, you need to get an earphone, man. Without an earphone with StreamYard, without an earphone with StreamYard. Yeah.
Get one and get one.
Yeah. And whenever you're not talking, just mute your mic. Just get an earphone and forward, but just mute your mic. Yeah. Rome, seriously, bro, I'm telling you this, bro. I would love for us to do well, but with this bangarang going on behind back door, I don't think we're going nowhere, Bridget. Because this is not the first as we hear English-based player come. You see the coach, and you see the coach are the leader. He's the leader, not the federation in there, the coach. That's why he is the main man. Why you think Jurgen Klopp have this big Liverpool on him back? Him have the whole Liverpool on him back because him have to control the minority of the people. He have to control everybody. He know what's supposed to do. Theodore Whitmore as a manager, I tell people that as a manager, he has to command, he has to step out. And I know if he's worth win for Schaefer of this team, we don't have too much problem off the pitch. Yes, we have them, but they would hear it come out in the media. We would have dead for hungry because we would get nothing to talk about.
Nothing.
You understand? Anything we are talk about, Rome, I will come out in the media. So them can't blame us.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only way we can get this, we can get change is if people like you, right, Simon, coaches this and everything, just continue to talk about it. We have to educate the Jamaican public on exactly what going on. Because majority of the Jamaican people right now, whether they're Jamaica or in the diaspora, the only thing you see are when time the team get called up or when the team are play upon CVM. Right? If you're not there on YouTube, if you're not there on the news or invested in it, if you're not watch football elsewhere and know how football run, you don't really know. Say, we have better footballers out there and we not calling them up. You understand? You don't really know. Say, we have the entire country a rave about Ravel Morrison and we know the talent and the greatness he is. But you don't really know, say, since November last year, Ravel Morrison play for your team. You don't really know, say, the man we are playing near Michael Hector in midfield is an actual defender, and we have midfielders out there who can play in our midfield.
Rome, I always want to talk to you about this, you know, I always at work about this Ravel Morrison thing. Rome, seriously, he's talented. I will see what he can do. Nobody hide that. But he's not in our club at this moment. You think him should have get a look wee and say, yo, because him talented, he can make a difference?
No. No, people, before we start shoot off of me, and before we start duck bullets for Ravel Morrison, maybe say something real quick. I don't have a choice whether Ravel Morrison make the team or not. I don't. But I don't think he should be in the team. And I'll tell you why. We know Ravel Morrison is a massive, massive talent. We know that for a fact. Right? But if you look back at the Japan game where we lose 4-0, that's my exhibit number 1. In which case, the Japanese team, though they're talented, did not outclass us because of talent. The Japanese team outclassed us because of attitude and speed and fitness. And our number 1 press should always be, we should always have a high press from the forward to the midfield and then covering at the defense. We didn't have that press because the people who ever played at the midfield, the second press, unfit. Ravel Morrison hasn't played in months. No, I'm not blaming him that for the loss. What I'm saying is the quality of football that you needs to be continuous over a period of time. Now, do I rate Ravel Morrison? Yes. And that is the reason why I think he should not be in the squad. Because if you think about it, there's other human beings out there right now who are eligible to play, who are fighting and playing every day for the club, and they're not getting a call. But because of this man, his talent or notoriety, and he only played prior to this 2 games for the country, or 1.5, he's getting called up. Now I do think he has talent. I just don't think for me that he should be in the team because of the situation. The moment, like imagine this, World Cup is when? World Cup or 2022.
Yeah, 22.
We have, and I said this last January, and I'm gonna say this again. We're in the international period. Then the players go on break, and then they go back to their clubs, and then World Cup qualifiers start again. During this time, right, we're going to go back, finish Gold Cup, and then every time we have international break in September and October, we'll call a team to go play World Cup qualifiers. And throughout that time, Ravel Morrison still doesn't have a club, but still playing for the national team. How can you square that, fam, when everybody else is back with their club and playing football? There's been no indication that he will sign for a club at that point. At what point will we say it's time for Ravel Morrison to retire? Because if he's not playing for a club after 8 months, 9, at what point will we demand he gets a club to play for? Because if that's the case, and you can just play for the national team without playing for a club, which is what determines you play, then I might as well just call up me and Ryan. May I go send JFF a text message and say call me.
But watch out, here is my thing on Ravel. I think I would give him a leeway because he's talented and he show what he can do in the few games. I will give him a leeway for the Gold Cup. But after the Gold Cup and him don't have a team going to the World Cup qualify, I don't think he should be in the team. I think this is him opportunity to put in performance and get a team. There's no way you're going to come and play September. You agree with me, Rome? Give him the chance to play him and make him play well and do what him have to do to get a club. But come September, when we play in the World Cup qualifier, if he don't have a team, he's not supposed to be in the team.
So here's my take on that now, fam. I don't think whether you play when Ravel come in and Ravel plays, play well, play bad, I don't think it's gonna make a difference because nobody in this world don't know what Ravel can do in the football world. From Alex Ferguson to shout him out, everybody have this man in the back of him head and say, yes, this guy can be the next best thing. Because one of the greatest managers in the world pinpoint him and say, he has the talent. If Jamaica take him and play him, it now gonna make a difference. Team already know what Ravel brings. Which is why I ask the question, why is he not playing for a team right now? Because him coming and playing well for us is not going to prove anything that he hasn't done before.
Listen, Rome, as far as I know, he get a lot of contract offer, but the salary is not good enough. Because you have to look at it, a player know what him worth, Yes, him not in our club to be demanding how much him supposed to get paid. But you have to remember, as a player, know how much him worth. Just like Theodore Whitmore, he don't know what he worth because the man want to give him some like a chump change. And then him have to resign and then him have to come back. Because them say, okay, all right, yeah, we're going to give this. Sometimes you have to hold out and know what to resign. When him, the real Sociedad want him. But the money where they've given him is joke. Guys, smash the like button, guys. Come on, guys. Let's get the video to 100. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Rome, make sure you guys go and subscribe, guys. Trust me, you know a lot about the game. Show him some love, show him some support, man. Rome, drop your link in the chat, man.
All right, bet. I mean, when it comes to you said we talk about payment for Ravel Morrison, and I think your performance is what determines your pay, right? And I don't know what happened with the last team with Ten Hag and why he just decided to dip right in the middle of the contract. And I don't know what the details behind the contract that Real Sociedad offer him. But as a footballer, right, I would think that the most important thing to me is playing football. And if you get the opportunity to play a Real Sociedad, who was at the point at that time, I think in a Europa League.
Yeah, David Silva play for them too.
David Silva play for them. You get the opportunity to go rub shoulders versus them and play. I don't think it's as even knowing the way your career went and you get the opportunity to come back and build better. why not take that opportunity other than stay a yard of London, fam? Those things, that's why I think there has to be more to it. It couldn't just be the money, because if you rather not get any money and stay home, or get a little bit of money and play football and then get the opportunity to pay more. If Ravel go and impress at the first 6 months in there, then can offer him a new contract, or someone else offer him a new contract. You understand? But the fact that you're playing football sets you up for better, sets the national team up for better, because a Ravel Morrison playing for a club is better than a Ravel Morrison playing in one park of London. You know, you agree with me on that, right? So I do think, take the opportunity to go play, continually playing, get on the field, training with your teammates, and then you have a better chance of doing well for the national team. Even if them offer you a little bit of nothing, fam, and you play football, you can live off what you have right now. It don't really matter. Do you think so? That's how I think.
Boy, I mean, no. I think player like Ravel Morrison, I don't know, man, but I think this is him chance I'm giving him. I'm giving him to play in this Gold Cup opportunity, but he must sign for a club. Else Theodore Whitmore should call him up for the national team. Yes, we know
100%.
Ravel Morrison is better than a lot of our midfielder. Trust me, he's one of our best midfielder. No doubt about that. I know you're not questioning him ability.
No.
The only problem you have, him just not signing for a club. You understand? And I said this, Ravel Morrison, him should in Jamaica and the Suns 2 days a week. And Coach Whitmore should sit him down and say, listen, I want you to be a big part of this Reggae Boyz team. I'm going to build this team around you. Because guess what? You have the talent. Him should have go to the gym. He should have go to El Jack or run on the Suns. He should have drink some nice bulga. He should have eat some nice food, relaxing in a nice hotel, and prepare himself, going to the gym and build up himself fit and ready for the Gold Cup. So when the 2 weeks camp in Orlando, he's supposed to ready to deal with this team. Because I think in the last game against Japan, he showed that he didn't fit and stuff. So yeah, we need to see him play.
Yeah, man. The biggest thing for me is the reason why I have this stance on Ravel Morrison is because the way I look at football, I have to look on it from a neutral, objective point of view. Me get my feelings so tight, right, and start think about what is best for the country. And we know if you want to debate back on the world stage, I want to be running up and down and swing your flag on the world stage, saying that you're proud of watching your football team play, then you want the best players out there playing. That is why we have this stance on football, which is why it makes no sense that we have a defensive midfielder who's 38 as one of the names on the 60-man squad. But then another defensive midfielder playing in England who is 34 can't make the team. But this defensive midfielder is in Jamaica, haven't played for a year. I still don't know the justification behind Watson being on this team, and it bugs my mind every time I think about it. Crazy stuff. Don't make sense. It's a madness, fam. It's a complete madness. That man is damn near 40.
Yeah, as I would say, the man them just build up the team, just build up the number, because most of the players them, and the thing, bro, don't even get contact or email and say them going to be in the 60-man pool, Player reach out to me and say, yo, Ryan, I never know them man remember me. Trust me, a lot of players don't get even an email or a contact and them on the team and on the 60-man. Yeah.
It goes back to the running at the federation, fam. We need to get rid of these, man. The Jamaican public are the only one who can do it. I don't know if I have to start a petition. I don't know what we have to bring out, make sure it start cover more up on the news. But we need to get rid of these people, because if we don't, it just going to continue upon a downward spiral and we'll never lift. Remember, you said the other day that this is our best opportunity to win the Gold Cup, because USA are send them B team, Mexico are send them C team, right? It's our best opportunity to win the Gold Cup, and the JFF everything just keep going down. There's not one positive news coming out of the JFF. Them just slap it real bad.
When we hear from the JFF room, it's like if me come out and say something bad, about them, they come out and defend themselves. Every time we hear from the JFF, it's always about defend their character and defend their brand. We now hear them come out and say, all right, have a press conference. What we're going to do? Have a press conference. Theodore Whitmore. Or you have a 60-man squad and Theodore Whitmore don't do a press conference and say, this is the reason why I call this a player and the list. Nothing like that. We is the bro. Mexico do it, USA do it, everybody do a press conference. Why Jamaica don't do a press conference?
But the fact where you said a while ago that they pick a 60-man squad and man on that squad don't even know that they were on that squad doesn't make any sense. You understand? The fact that we are now as fans worried that that some of the players that we hope that are overseas can play for the country don't have a passport yet doesn't make sense. The fact that the JFF does not have a system in which they correspond and coordinate with PICA that can turn around a passport for anybody who has Jamaican parentage within 2 months or within a month don't make sense. Because Jamaica, the Football Federation is under the Minister of Sports. PICA is under the Minister of National Security. Them can meet at any given time and say, PICA, if I designate this man as a significant sporting individual for the country, can you expedite a passport for me? And PICA will say, absolutely. Just give me the name, give me them information, make sure we have the parents' information to verify that the parents are actually Jamaican. I will make it happen within a month. PICA can do that because a government agency, they can do that. There shouldn't be a case where Mikel Antonio don't know how to get the passport, or anybody who born overseas don't know how to get a passport because the JFF asked them to handle it. You understand? It should never be the case. These players overseas are we asking to play for the country, right? Already, these players have been playing for their clubs since they were kids, which means these big clubs have been taking care of them for everything they need. They don't need anything at all other than wake up, train, eat well, and go back to bed. So why are we looking to become a product of the Jamaican football that shows the world how football is run? We want international players to come and play for us, but we're not giving them international treatment. It's like going to a steakhouse and asking for a burger. Don't make sense. None of them don't make sense.
Yeah, guys, that's the link for Fourth Official channel. Guys, just hit on the link, guys, and subscribe. It's giving some strength, guys. Want you guys, the more we have more Jamaican channel out here, the more put the federation on a more problem and miserable for them do good. So I want you guys to hit on the link, subscribe to Fourth Official, tell him that Ryan LFC send you guys over there. So make sure you guys hit the like button. 5 more likes, guys, to get the video to 100. We're going to do roughly 5 more minutes and a close off. But Fourth Official, what's the best open for this team? Both for the World Cup qualifier and the Gold Cup.
Well, I'm hoping that we can qualify. We can win the Gold Cup 100%. I'm hoping that we can win the Gold Cup, and definitely qualify for the World Cup. Anything can happen. I mean, USA never made the last World Cup, so if anything, we can definitely make the World Cup. But once we get past Suriname, if we can get past Suriname in the group stages, then anything can happen at the knockout stages. I was at the final in Philly last time, and I'm hoping we can go see one of the games this year, probably in Florida. But it's going to be rough, depending on the 23-man squad that it picks. It's going to be rough, but I'm going to be there waving the flag 100% all the way.
Guys, viewers, don't build up your hopes too much because you're probably not seeing some of the favorite player you guys want to see. Trust me, because Jerome Waite said most of the top player them don't want to play the friendly and the Caribbean Cup. We Andre Blake said it in an interview. Most of these top players don't want to play the Caribbean Cup and the friendlies and these things. And I don't know, man. I see Messi playing friendly for Argentina. I see Christie playing friendly for Argentina. And what's the difference with our big superstar player with the greatest like Messi? Even if a teacup kicking, they want to play. Why they don't take the national team serious? Or what?
That's the thing, though. We need to understand that majority of these players is overseas-based players. They're not coming to play for Jamaica. Majority of them, not all of them. And this is just my point of view. So take it with a grain of salt. But if you think about Antonio, right? And the reason why others are contemplating whether they want to play for Jamaica or not, it's not because they have this great affinity and love for Jamaica why they want to come and play for the country now. Man like Antonio had the opportunity to play already and he didn't. The reason why Antonio is coming is because he's realizing that he's getting to the pinnacle of his career. He will never play for England. He would love to play on a large stage, which is a World Cup, so that he can raise in footballing stature, so that he can build up himself for a career after football. And as a footballer, after you're done, you're either going to coaching or punditry. And nobody not going to call you up for punditry if you don't play for your national team. You understand? So Antonio need to build up his stature as a footballer, which is why he come back to try to play for Jamaica, because he see the opportunity to go play in the World Cup. This is not because they love the country. So calling them up, I am not surprised if they don't want to play a friendly or come and play for the playing at the Gold Cup, because they don't see the notoriety that we get from the Gold Cup.
The Valley.
Yeah. They don't see the value behind it.
I interview Marlon King, and him said, Ryan, you see, in England, especially in England, it's very important for you to play international football, to get a sponsorship in England. You have to play, most of the time, him say you have to play international football. If you want to get a job on sports ESPN, you have to play international football. Most of these big jobs, you have to play international football. And he said it's important to play international football. Now, Jerome Waite said it. Most of the big name players don't want to play the practice game and play Caribbean Cup. He said it. So how can we have a nation like this and we have a team preparing? They don't want to play friendly. Where we going? I see Cristiano Ronaldo turn up to every friendly game. Messi, De Bruyne, all of them. What's the difference with them and the superstar, with our superstar? It's joke, man.
The thing is, fam, international football raise you not like it raise up your status so much. Your transfer value go up big time when it comes to international football.
Rome, this is something for you, you know.
Yeah.
Because you say I think he must say
when Antonio was younger, his manager asked the scout to watch him in the national team and he was shunned. And it's when he boss England scout asked him. Okay, so yeah, you really make my point in the Jerome. I'm saying me understand what I say. So you said the JFF asked him, he was asked to be scouted by the Jamaican national team when he was younger. A lot of people, a lot of ballers in England were asked to be scouted by Jamaica. I mean, Theo Walcott was once scouted by Jamaica until then playing for the national team. The fact remains that you have to when you play for under 23 for England, you don't necessarily have to play for the national team. That doesn't stick you down to the national team. You can play for any country where you represent. Alex Iwobi play for England new team. And then look where he play for now because he couldn't get called up for England national team. And the same thing might happen to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He might go play for Congo. See? So a lot of these players get scouted when they were younger. Right? But no, what I am saying is he now knows that he cannot play for England. Because the initial refusal, from what I know, and you might disagree with me, but from what I know, the initial refusal was that he wanted to play for England. The same thing with the youth that plays with Liam Bailey over at Bayern Leverkusen now. What name?
Gray.
The same thing is with Gray right now. He's holding off so he can get to play for England. Right? But what I am saying is the reason why he's doing that now is because he realizes if he goes to the World Cup, playing for Jamaica, that builds his stature and his notoriety, which would set him up for after football. There's a reason why Robbie Earl is working for NBC now, you know. And it's not because Robbie Earl had a stellar career in football. It's because Robbie Earl scored a goal at the World Cup for Jamaica. So write that down. Mark it down in the back of your book.
All right.
A cheat notes me just give.
I'm going to tell you something, guys. You have a TV named Talawa TV. You see the assistant coach where Reggae Boyz pointed the other day, Paul Hall, Well, listen what he said about playing international football.
Yeah.
International football, when you see most of these pundits get called up to talk about international football, they want someone know how it feel how to play international football. To get a sponsor, Marlon King said, even if to sponsor this in England, you have to play international football. So most of these in Rome, you're right. Most of some of the big name players are coming to play for Jamaica. They're not because they coming to play and they love or they want to give back the money to charity. Because they know down the line they're going to benefit from it.
Yeah. Yeah, Antonio was back and forth whether he wanted to represent the country or not. Whether he wanted to, whether Jamaica turned him down or we never look forward to him or whatnot. The point is, it's about them building it. If you look at NBC, I know you guys probably don't watch. So if you watch NBC Sports when you're watching the Premier League, all of the pundits on there right now, you cannot tell me that all of them had a stellar footballing career. Right? Not all of them had but they play for the national team and they had that type of notoriety through the national team, so them get the exposure which them can work as pundits now. You understand? So I don't. For me personally, when I hear Ryan saying a lot of the players don't want to come over and play friendly or in the Gold Cup, I can understand why, because the motivation to play for the national team is coming around World Cup time, not necessarily when Gold Cup are going.
Rome, why you think Andre Blake said? Why you think Andre Blake said the interview on Sportsmax? Why is now some of these English-based players coming? Why is now? It's because of World Cup.
Because World Cup, they're
all right, guys. We don't have nothing wrong with the English-based player, But the man said when it's supposed to be Caribbean Cup and play friendly, they don't want to come.
Yeah.
They don't want the same thing that Jerome Waite said, or the same thing that Andre Blake said. Some of the English-based players don't want to come and play for the friendly and stuff. We're not against them, We love the English-based player. We want them because we need them to do great things.
It's a catch-22, to be honest, because yes, we would love to have them throughout the 4 years playing in friendlies, and so we can get a higher FIFA ranking, and playing in the Gold Cups, so we can get representation and win it. But the fact is, we don't have that luxury because more times than not, they don't want to travel come all the way on the other side of the world just to play one game and then have to go back to England or wherever, right? So it's a whole lot of things that's coupled within the fact that these players don't necessarily want to come and play for we. They only want to come on a World Cup time because World Cup is what give them stuff. That's the big thing. World Cup is what give them all the notoriety.
Guys, we're not beating the English player. Why people sometimes you think you are beat? We just said over time, Rome say we love the English-based player because they bring something different to the national team. When you play international football, guys, the difference when you play international football rooms. When Ravel Morrison sit down in his next contract, he's an international player internationally. So when you're an international player, you get more money. A lot of people don't know that. When you're an international footballer, you get more money for your club.
All right, me give a real life example. They have this right back at Manchester United named Diego Dalot, right? Last year, Manchester United loaned him out to AC Milan. And him come back this year and AC Milan keep on saying, hey, we need him another loan. We're not going to promise we're going to buy him. We might give an option for buy him. And Diego Dalot go at the under-23 championship. And then as soon as the Euro start, them call him up for the national team, for the big team. And him go. And prior to that, he never play, But him finally get a game in the last game when Semedo got injured. And guess what? Now he's a full international, which means that Manchester United can ask for more when it's time come for someone come and say they want to buy him. You understand? Because he's now an international, which raises the transfer value significantly. It raises your value in the market. It raises everybody coming, as I say, I talk about sponsorship, talk about the type of player that they would love to have, wear them bag or eat them, drink them drinks or whatnot. So it's being an international does a whole lot for your career, which is why when you remember World Cup are the most watched single event in the world, World Cup, the football World Cup are the most watched single event in the world. So if as a sportsman you can make it to the World Cup, everybody eyes are going to on you, you know. It's not like a Euros where only my European and some football fans watch it, you know. World Cup,
everybody watch it.
Everybody watch it, you know. So can you imagine how big man like Antonio go be if him go World Cup and even do well? What you think put Robbie Earl on the map? What you think put Bibi Gardner on the map? What you think put Whitmore on the map? The 2 goals against Japan. That put them man on the map because of World Cup, which is why these men are so eager, because World Cup they're right around the corner and we have a very good chance of making it.
You know the next thing I want to tell the viewers, you know what Marlon King said to me? Marlon King said, when international break and when you as a player not get called for your national team, you know how much work he has to do. He's like you're doing a whole pre-season again. He said when international break, sometimes even the club don't want to release him because he playing on a Thursday. He playing game for Jamaica on a Thursday night. World Cup qualified. He playing Saturday. You know, England a little bit ahead of us. So him said to fly to go back to England, that's going to be like Friday evening, Friday night. He missed training, but at the same time, he has to play Saturday morning, early, 6 p.m. So he said he makes so much sacrifice just to make Jamaican better. So I always say, guys, we cannot do without the English-based player. We need a very good unit together. We need local and we need English-based player to make the team have that chemistry, because without the local player to have that vibes, they're not going to feel it. You understand?
Do me a favor. Bring up the last comment from Chris Smith. Let me talk about Robbie Earl. Guys, we need the one that said Robbie Earl is a Wimbledon legend.
Is this one?
No, man, no, the one further up, like 3 more. Yeah, that one. No, this is exactly my point, because the only people in this world that know Robbie Earl was a Wimbledon legend. I people him at Wimbledon. That's my little area in England. Nobody knew who Robbie Earl was until Robbie Earl scored that goal for Jamaica at the World Cup. And that's the whole point of the World Cup.
Bro, not continue. Bro, I was watching NBC and everybody remind Robbie. Everybody know Robbie Earl from scoring the goal. They always they don't address him as a Wimbledon legend.
No,
we know him as a legend.
The Jamaican international. That's how they address him. And it's not a dig on Wimbledon, because who knows where Wimbledon is right now. Wimbledon have been playing at the Premier League since I watched the Premier League. Right? So it's the point that I'm making is the football, the opportunity that Jamaica gives to these guys who have parentage in Jamaica is to go play for the World Cup, and they're more like going to take it when it comes to the World Cup. We love that, the fact that they're going to come for and play for us, but we only going to see them once a year like politician, and we have to agree with once every 4 years like politician, and we just have to accept that.
Most definitely, guys. We're gonna take ourselves left you guys, man. Careful, follow you guys with a year for the whole day.
Right.
Yeah,
Italy play on the side too.
Yeah, Italy play?
Yeah, man, Italy play Austria right now, and nil.
How much minute left?
30 minutes left tonight, man.
30 minutes. Ninal.
Yeah.
Italy good enough, bro.
Yeah, man. Austria hold them out, man.
Yeah. We need to go watch. But what I have to say, guys, I really want you guys to support Rome, man. Some reason, bro, my spirit take that, brother. So, guys, make sure you guys go and subscribe to. Tell them where they can find a room, man.
Yeah, this at the YouTube channel named The Fourth Official. You can find me on Instagram as well, _official. Twitter, officially Rome. Yeah, man. So we just talk about football, Manchester United mostly, but definitely love football, you know.
Yeah. Enough respect to all of you guys, man. I appreciate it, guys. Guys, get the video. How much likes on the video? Miguel, how much likes on the video? Tell me how much likes on the video. Let's smash it and get it to 100.
We have 100 flat. I look on YouTube right now. They are 100 flat, man.
100 flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
101 now. Can we just drop a couple lights on it?
Yeah. People smash up the like button. Remember, guys, you will get a video from Ryan LFC every day or two. Hopefully tomorrow I can come up with some topic. I have them in my book, so I never run out of content. So I have them in my book. So I'm going to look out for our next video, guys. Yeah, look out for a few interview with some Reggae Boyz player. I have a few interviews with some Reggae Boyz player coming up this week. I think next week. But enough respect, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you up on coaches next tonight. Hopefully a football and not track and field. But if it's track and field, we're still there. But Rome, I really appreciate it. You're coming in and share it, Bridget. Thank you very much, man. And Halftime TV, if you're watching, enough respect. I know you're watching Italy. He's a very, very secret Italian fans. Halftime TV. You might go like him no love Italy, but enough love. Bless up to every one of you. Miguel, enough respect, Bridget. Enough respect. Enough respect to all of you guys in the chat.
Man, as I respect
Russell, enough respect. Big up to you guys, man. See you guys, look a bit. Peace out.